Greetings, I'm Rob Chappers.
And I'm the captain.
And Andertons has magically been transportulated to Maplewood Studios in East Peckham.
Yes, in our TARDIS that we bought the other day.
Yes.
So it's actually 1973, and we're in... No, it's not.
I wish it was.
I wish it was.
I wouldn't have been born.
I'd be one.
Would you?
Yeah.
We've got some Cornford amplifiers.
Yeah, Cornford, who, funnily enough, aren't a million miles from East Peckham in Kent. They're from Whitstable in Kent. And as you guys know, Cornford is a manufacturer of some very high quality hand-wired British-made amplifiers. Amazing products like the
Mark 50 Mark II,
Mark 50 Mark II, Carrera,
Hurricane,
Hellcat.
Hellcat. Oh, I had a Hellcat. I took it to Abbey Road. It dominated all.
So, and guys like Guthrie Govan, Richie Kotzen, you know, some
no one really.
players. Yeah, no one.
Just sort of, demo B-side players.
Anyway, a few years ago, in an effort to make the Cornford range a bit more affordable and more accessible to some players that didn't maybe have, £1,500, £2,000 to spend on an amplifier, Paul and Martin from Cornford designed a printed circuit board version. So you guys...
It's really the only difference, generally, isn't it?
Yeah, so you guys appreciate that if you have a hand-wired amplifier, a person has to sit and wire all the components together. It adds hours and hours onto the production time.
Yawn.
Printed circuit board, basically, you design it, you order them from a factory, they turn up, and when you're building the amplifiers, you just plonk them in, and obviously it cuts hours and hours off the production time. So the Roadhouse series was born from that. Other than that, they're identical to the hand-wired, so same factory in the UK, same chassis, same cabinetry.
Same knobs, same bits.
Importantly, same Celestion Vintage 30 speakers in them, just printed circuit board. Now, as a result, the Roadhouse actually ended up being quite an expensive printed circuit board amplifier when you compared it to lots of the Marshalls and the Black Stars and the Fenders and things that were being made in the Far East.
And what did they used to retail for?
So these would have been there are 4 amps in the Roadhouse series. Essentially, there's a 30 watt available in a 1x12 combo or a head, or a 50 watt available in a 2x12 combo or a head. And they would have sold, I think the 30 watt combo was about £800, the 212 50 was about £1,000. And bearing in mind that these are basically single channel amplifiers, no reverb, just with single channel with a boost, that was a little expensive. And most people, once they perhaps looked at Roadhouse series, thought, you know what, I might as well just spend a little bit extra and get hand wired.
It's worth saying it was a fair price for the quality that you're getting. I mean, it's really great quality.
You can't build anything in the UK and it be as competitive as Far Eastern. So anyway, after 3 or 4 years of the Roadhouse being an okay selling amplifier, but not an amazing selling amplifier, we've just done a deal to...
Captain has saved the day!
To basically buy the remaining Roadhouse stock, so all the printed circuit boards they have made, and offer you these amplifiers at a stunning price.
Wait for it. Drum roll.
Of £499 for the 30 watt head, £599 for the 1x12 30 watt combo, £599 for the 50 watt head, and £699 for the 50 watt 212 combo.
Just got to change my trousers.
Okay. So there we are. So yes, you may have seen these amplifiers in videos before, but we've never really done a proper focus on them. So if you like what you hear and you fancy one of these, you'll need to be quick because there aren't thousands of these left to sell.
How many have you got?
50, 60, something like
that. Is that it?
Mm.
They're going to fly like an eagle.
I think they will. So, not much else to tell you about the spec on these. These are 6L6 loaded amplifiers. They're both essentially the same tube selection here. We've just got a louder version on the 50.
What we can say is, and you're going to hear this in the playing, but basically they are your archetypal bluesy, crunchy rock amplifiers. They're not really made for metal, although you could if you put a pedal in front, but you don't really want to do that.
Paul Cornford always used to describe his sound as like a transatlantic sound. So it was kind of like it was the British basic tone, so like that sort of martially grunty sort of tone, but with the extra saturation maybe and a bit more bass end that you'd get from an American amplifier.
Something you'll notice as a player is that for some reason the feedback is very musical, and when you hold and sustain a note, it always comes through really fast, and it's just a musical sounding feedback. It kind of adds, it doesn't kind of squeal and just be painful to you.
So we'll start with the 30 1x12. We've got some pedals here. I don't know that we'll be using many of them. Essentially, the amplifier is, as I said, it's a single channel amplifier with a boost switch. So the switch comes with it. Rob's got the boost switch.
The boost adds gain
and volume. Yeah, and it's controllable on the amp. We'll do a sweep over so you can see, but you've got a control for the boost channel. Not going to use a lot of reverb. We've got a delay pedal with us, so we might put a bit of delay through one of the combos. And we've got a couple of pedals on the floor down here from yesterday's videos, which is the Katana boost
and the Kalamazoo.
Yeah, and I think all we're going to use in this demo is the Katana boost to go over and above the boost channel on the Cornford, just to really kind of kick it into some sort of super saturated
You
stuff.
don't really need it, but it's just nice.
We should mention we're still on the clean channel, or we're still on, essentially there's no such thing as clean and dirty channel on this, is there? We've got the gain wound up to just past halfway, so you'd have to back the gain down a little if you wanted it completely clean.
Well, I'll show you that on the guitar now. If I bring it...
Probably worth saying that would probably be your main reason to go up to the 50, was if you wanted a little bit more headroom before the amp started to break up. But the 30 will break up. I think you'll get a clean gigging sound, but you won't get that Fender kind of like mega big clean gigging sound.
To be honest, I never use a clean sound gigging. Honestly, you bluesy rock dudes, just roll it off and get a cleany type crunch.
Yeah.
I don't like a crystal clean. If you want a crystal clean, buy Fender.
Yeah.
Sounds great, doesn't it?
It does sound
Sounds
good.
proper.
Yeah.
Proper pub gigging amp. I want to do that again. It's so good. The reason we were laughing is because the little Made in England badge was vibrating on top of this cab like it was having some kind of I've drunk some Mountain Dew type liquid and I can't take the power anymore. The caffeine and sugar is destroying my body. That's a proper amp, Lee.
Yeah, that sounds great. Put it on that
That's a proper
back
amp
pickup,
for the money as
and
well.
we just kick the katana boost
On the
in as
front or
well,
the back
on
pickup?
the bridge pickup.
Oh, bridge.
Yeah. Do you want to hear the big one?
I want to hear the big one, Lee.
I want to hear the big one. Right.
So, hold on, before we move on to the big one, though, 6L6,
Yeah.
Cornford Construction,
Yeah. UK made.
UK made. What's the price?
$4.99 for the head and $5.99 for the combo.
Who else has these to sell?
No one.
No one.
And just whilst we're talking about the head as well, there's a Cornford cab that they make as part of the hand-wired series, which is a 212 with vintage 30 loaded speakers in, which you can buy in black if you want to match with the Roadhouse kind of look for £499. But when I spoke to Cornford and I said, I think that's probably going to be too expensive, you know, a £499 cab to go with a £499 head. Can we do anything here? They said, look, if we change the vintage 30 speakers for the Celestion 7080 speakers, we can get the price down to $349 for the same cab. So I've ordered some of those. So if you like the idea of having a head with 212 cabinet rather than a combo, and do look out for, we've called it just a Roadhouse 2x12 on our website.
And is the 2x12 open back or closed back?
That's a good question. I think it's open back.
I had an open back 2x12 Cornford cab, and it was unreal.
Quite a lot of the time on the Cornford stuff, and again, I don't know whether, I might have to confirm this before we put all this in the video.
That's all right. That's how we fly here in Andertons.
It's quite. I certainly know it's one of the options there has been on the Cornford is that you can essentially have a removable panel
the block
on the back.
Yeah.
So it can be closed back, or you can take that out and it's like half open.
Yeah.
But I can't remember whether or not the Roadhouse 212 cabinets are going to be that or not.
Well, a quick story about my 212
on,
cab.
then.
I took it to Abbey Road. I recorded an EP with Nick Tauber, who produced Def Leppard and Thin Lizzy, and he literally said, "This is a great sounding cab." High praise indeed.
That sounds like Mark Bolan T-Rex.
It does. Wow! That is an amazing, amazing amplifying sound of goodness and clarity and joy.
Yeah, they're good amps. I know, because this is like a finite deal as well, I know that there's...
A finite deal.
Yeah, well, in other words...
When it
once
ends...
They're gone, they're gone.
It ends.
I know there's probably about 3 times as many of the 30-watt PCBs as there are of the 50-watt ones. So if your heart's set on a 50, you probably need to act a bit quicker than if you decide you fancy a 30. So I expect you'd probably like to see a whole plethora of other guitar players coming in and doing their thing.
Including Captain.
Yeah, maybe including me. I'll have to see how good the other ones are.
I think we'll
first.
summon a giant afro dude called Beer, who plays guitar with me.
Cool.
And Dan, friend of Sticks. And Captain, who's Captain.